Hey guys, how's it going? Wookie Legend here. I want to make a video on just the basics of the game and how to set it up and what you can get out of it as a new player. The defaults aren't exactly set up correctly for anything that you can actually use in the game. So starting out first, if you're in your HUD, go to your name, right? From there, you can go to your inventory. And it doesn't matter how new you are to the game or how far you're into the game. A lot of players don't know that you can actually sell the modules. These modules here, if you see any modules here, that means you already have the upgraded version of it, and most likely you will never come back to the other haul. So you go ahead and sell it, and you make some credits. That's a nice little free way to make credits right there. You could do so with, obviously, upgrades, especially certain ones that you just get and you don't use. You can go ahead and sell them and make yourself some credits that way. A lot of new players are always short on credits and they're selling their whole ship. If you're a collector like me, yes, I used to sell my ships until I found out that there's a little cheat here that they don't really tell you about. I wouldn't probably sell my flags or signals. Flags obviously you can't sell, and then there's camouflages depending on what you have and what you really don't need. It's really easy. Just click on here, get the maximum one if you don't really want it, right? 562, you go sell. 562, type it in with your pad on your keyboard. And there you go, 25 million, right? Of course, I want these, but if you're short on cash and let's say clan battles are starting and you really need that ship, boom, there you go. That's how you get some pretty good credits. What's another thing? Campaigns. For you guys that don't know campaigns, you can get 2 commanders out of it and a ship out of it. There's Science of Victory, Honorable Service, Yamamoto, Hit Hard, and then the Epoch ones. I'm not sure if these are still around for new players. This one will get you Yamamoto for the Japanese. This one will get you Halsey for the US. Honorable Service will get you a Shinonome if you go to the last thing. There you go, a Shinonome. It's a excellent tier 6 premium destroyer, especially if you like stealthy Torp DD. It's fantastic. It comes with an 11-point captain. That brings me to the next point. If you're struggling to go through these points, let's say just with the first one, you're gonna find that they're all depending. They all give you a different amount of stars, which is what you need here. Some of them are 3, some of them are 2. You can find the easiest one for you. Usually it's the first one, like this one, cause 200,000 damage to Japanese ships. Okay, and you click on it and it comes up here. If you have premium, you get all 3. If you don't have premium, you get the 2. You click on this one, you finish it, and it'll give you this prize one time. Then it's going to have a nice little green check mark. At that point, most players will have to go to the next one, not knowing that they could just redo this one over and over and over again and get all their stars aligned. Then they just click on this one, they finish it, and then they get their 3 million. At that point, you'll go to the next one and rinse and repeat. Now, at the end of all of them, if you want to go back and finish them all, there is an achievement, but some of them are really hard. Some of them are really hard, especially if you don't play certain classes. I in particular I'm horrible at CVs. So these CV ones are sticking around for a while. They have 1 left out of this whole collection. That's a nice little hack there too, for you guys that don't know. Uh-oh. Oh, I clicked on convert. Bear with me, sometimes it does this. By the way, convert, while we're here, all the experience you get from ships, regardless of you selling them or not selling them, or resetting the line, it always builds up. It always builds up. Depending on how many doubloons you have, which costs money, you can trade your doubloons with the experience. See, it's 25 plus 1 doubloon will give you 25 free XP. I don't recommend this unless you're running out of time on getting a premium ship that's leaving the game. At that point, buy yourself some doubloons, just the right amount, and there's a calculator on Google. Buy yourself the right amount and convert your XP from your ships and get yourself some free XP. In total, I need 3 million doubloons to get, what, a lot of XP. I really don't need it, but when you're when you don't have enough time to complete something and you really want a ship that's leaving, that's the best way to do it. All right, what's the next thing? Go to your settings. in your settings, this is all up to you with how you want to set it up for your computer, depending on what you can handle. That's fine. Don't worry about that. For audio, I highly recommend, so you don't destroy your ears because everything is loud, pretty much setting it at high or at mid, and then setting these up like this. I don't know how much you want the music, especially if you're a streamer, you want other music. You get rid of the music from the game because having both just makes it very difficult. And then just adjust your sounds depending on what you want. Usually the quality, I have it on ultra. I don't know why it's on high. It is what it is. English language. If you go national, which is the standard, not standard, if you go national, depending on what nation you play, that's what language it comes out. If you want those specialty characters like the anime girls or any other specialty character, you can go over to National Voiceover Plus, okay? And that'll give you those specialty voices like the Warhammer commanders and anything that's bonus in the game that has a special voice. You can also set it up to one or an individual type. They almost have everything now in the game. I believe they have everything. And then you'll just have that type of voice on every ship. For me personally, I set it on national, and then yeah, then I just get whatever nation it is. That's what it is. The end. Yeah. Okay. Head over to controls. First thing out of all of this, most of this stuff will just be on already. If it's not, obviously click it all on. Limit camera angles on torpedo tubes. You can leave that off. I haven't really ever tried it, but it's already limited as is. Your mouse sensitivity, that's up to you. Crosshairs. By default, you start on static. Problem with static is, and let's just go to type 1. This doesn't move when you zoom in and out. You always have to adjust as you're zooming in and out. If you go with dynamic though, it's built in already, and if you leave this island at 20, as you're zooming out, it will always be at 20. You will never have to adjust because you're zooming the camera in and out with your wheel. So I highly recommend dynamic for new players. Even for players that have been playing for a while, dynamic is definitely a much better choice when it comes to that. If you want to learn long distance shots, especially with spotter plane, though, you have to go to static unless you're using a mod, and you grab one of these ones that has the little dots up. There's some that don't have dots. Let's see, where are they? Like these ones. So as you're zoomed out, the ship could be at an angle like this. If the ship is at this angle, you can use it to actually shoot at long range because the camera does tilt up and you're looking at the ship at a different angle. So that's what these are for. You can use these depending on the angle and depending on how far the ship is, and help yourself learn how to shoot further. Maybe use it with the dots. So as the ship is like at this angle and he's around 10, you know, that'll be pretty much around there, right? Or around there, depending on where you are and where he is from your ship. So use these to learn kind of how to shoot those longer shots. But then again, I highly recommend dynamic afterwards. And then at that point, it's already muscle memory, you know? If you go back to controls, another quick little tip is on your keyboard, Q and E are to lock steering. E is for right lock, Q is for left lock. I personally remove those two, and we go down to where do we go down to? Weapons. In weapons, disable AA, which is I believe O by default, and sector priority is P by default. I actually made them E and Q, so then you don't have to actually remove your fingers from the WSD all the way to the other side of the keyboard, and you have to look down, right? Your muscle memory is not going to put your hand on P and O every time. So make it easier for yourself. While you're holding WASD, right, you just move your middle finger to either Q or E. Super simple, saves you a lot of time. That's a nice little hack right there too. Most people actually forget that you can actually set whatever keys you want. When it comes to indicator for terrains, leave the terrain on so it tells you that, you know, you're going to be approaching an island, okay? Take off, though, collision avoidance systems, because for people that don't know, it's already on by default. Your ship will move away on its own while you're trying to aim. So it will then expose you to the enemy, and then you're going to get shot, and you're not going to know why, because you didn't control that. It controls it on its own. Make sure to turn that off. For those guys that you ever, like, if you're ever watching another streamer and you're like, wow, why does he have so much information on there, and I don't, when it comes to ships and what they are, That's what this is. Make sure to have it on full. It's not on full, so you're missing out on a lot of information. Also, turn this on. It's a nice little bonus that they've just added recently. Definitely turn that on. For more information, though, and by default, these aren't all turned on, I would set them all on, because it's a lot of, like, the more info, the better, especially as a new player. Language bar, it's up to you. I mean, you can turn it off. I stream, but my camera usually blocks the text, so I personally don't care. And that's pretty much it for the settings. When you're in a game, though, let's see if we go to a quick game here. By the way, you can also play with no commander. If you're good enough at the game, you technically don't need a commander. If you're also signal poor like me, it technically, they're just bonuses. You don't really need them. But regardless, okay, we're going into the battle. We're gonna go into co-op just so I can show you guys these little things. There's a few options, and by default, everything is not on, just so you guys know. I don't know why the game is like that, but I'll show you now what to do. One thing, if you guys ever notice there's dots by the name, that means it's a bot. So it's not a real player. They've made them a lot smarter and a lot more tricky to deal with, and they have exceptional accuracy, just so you guys know. Okay, nothing wrong with playing co-op also, especially if you have to grind missions, or if you have to get rid of snowflakes. Right now it's the holidays. Snowflakes are out. You're not going to be playing randoms, right? Oh, we have a friend here. Let's just say hi. All right, we're moving forward. You guys notice my mini map is a lot bigger. You can make the map bigger and smaller by using the plus and minus. This is the biggest by default in the game. You can get a mod that actually makes the map bigger, right? Usually I think it's like this big by default. Make it bigger. There it is. Another thing to do is hold down control so you can actually see your mouse. And right above the map, there's two cogs. Click on it and it'll open up this screen. For every ship, you're gonna have to do this only one time. I highly recommend turning them all on, which then on the mini map, it gives you information, okay? And then you can play with the transparency of the circles, make them so you can see them. And then the water. By default, I think the map is usually this dark. You can make it lighter, right? So it doesn't get in the way, so you can actually see things through the map. You'd be surprised how many times torpedoes will be coming that way, and you won't see them in time. Then make sure range numerical values are on, and ship names. If you turn them off, it will get rid of a lot of information that you're gonna need. Map rotate, I will never turn on. I don't know why they even have this. It will turn your map every time you turn your mouse, which will confuse a lot of players. Okay. What else can I show you guys? Oh, if you ever with anything that has secondaries on the ship, you hold down control, and then when you click on it, like, it won't show here, but if you click on the closest target to you, it'll have a little A at the top. That'll give you a lot better accuracy or dispersion for your secondaries. So that's always an option too. What else? Oh, if you're a new player, and a lot of players fall into this category, even if you're not a new player, battleships, they like to just sail straight. Let's say this isn't a bot and they're actual players. Most players will just sail straight and just try to shoot at some kind of range at people. Well, if I am to shoot this guy with torps right now, he's not going to deviate and he's just going to run into me. So what ideally you should be doing is constantly adjust your speed and your trajectory so that it's not easy for me to constantly just hit you with torps. See, right off the bat, the bots already know that I'm shooting torps, so see how he's adjusting? I'm not moving, so you guys can see, but you notice how the white is moving away? That means he's already turning away. And if you press Z, you can scroll through all your torps or your shots with C, right? And you can see what you're doing. Now, I am going to hit him with 2, but this is a bot. He's not going to be able to dodge. Plus, these torps are very fast. You guys that don't know about this ship. Not that it's in the game anymore and you can't get it regardless of Christmas containers or not. But this exact thing that I just showed you guys is what happens to a lot of new players or players that don't know to just constantly play around with your throttle and constantly dodge. Most players that will shoot you are shooting because you're moving at a straight line at a consistent speed, and they're going to hit you eventually, right? If you're constantly dodging, you're constantly adjusting your speed, you're watching the shot come in, you're slowing down and turning into it, which I love to do. Slow down and turn into it as the shot. As you're seeing it coming out, instantly slow down and turn into it. And 9 times out of 10, you're dodging all their shots. With dispersion, right, they're going to hit you maybe once, one shell, right? That's part of the game. But understand that you can slow down. You don't have to go full speed, especially if you're trying to run away from someone. Always dodge, always move around, and you're going to live a lot longer. Making the minimap bigger. Minimap's giving you so much information that you're normally not getting because you can't be everywhere in the game. The minimap, though, is everywhere in the game, and everyone that's spotting something is spotting for you, so they're doing the work for you. Make the minimap big enough, read it, and understand where you are and where you could be, right? Putting yourself in the proper position will get you a win a lot more than you'd think. Another thing is help out your team. It's all about helping out your team. Put yourself and your ego aside. Team comes first, the win comes first, and you can't get the win without helping your team out, because it is a team game. See how it says team score, my team, like the signs are there, but a lot of people see randoms, they see co-op, they think that it's just a bunch of people I don't know. That doesn't matter. You're there for your team, you're part of your team, and you want to get that W, right? You want to have good stats if you care about stats. Pay attention to your team, pay attention to where you are, transition when you have to transition, focus fire when you have to focus fire. Another big thing is your F keys. Learn them. Learn your F keys. I'll show you where they are. There's 2 options to know where your F keys are. Obviously on the keyboard you know where they are, but knowing which keys do what, a lot of players don't know. And actually there's more than one way to actually use them. You can use the carousel by holding down B, and I'll show you now. Or you can hold down F, and it'll tell you all the little shortcuts in the entire game. Or you can just start with F2 all the way to F12, I believe. And you'll see exactly what I'm about to do. By highlighting a target or answering people with the F keys, it gives you that ability to not type and waste time typing, especially when you're in combat. You don't have time to type. So you can give out quick answers, right? Or quick information to the people that are asking you things or telling you things. So by just getting into the battle, right, you can just hold down B and you get the carousel. Now, I'm just moving your mouse around, and I'm just holding down B right now. You can actually click on it. See? Or not click on it. Just put your mouse over it and let go of B, and it will do the command. Or, right, you can look at something and then go F3. F3 says capture area. If we already own it, then it will say defend area. See? Defend area, right? And everyone gets this information. Now you're going to get a bunch of lovely characters that like to spam. You can easily just go like this, right? Go like this and go blacklist. This means that anything they say in the game, you will not read it ever. Nice little shortcut to removing people instead of actually reacting to what they're saying to you. Remember, it's just words. Don't react to trolls, right? Or you can just obviously report them. You know, just right click and just report misbehave in chat. Wargaming does look at this depending on what they say, and they could get banned or permabanned. There is a permaban now in the game where they will forever be banned from chat. Chat is very important, though. You can use it to actually allow people to understand what you're doing, right? There, I just I said to everyone, you know, focus him. Now, they don't have to, but you're letting them know that you want to focus him. You can say F5, right? Requesting support. You can say F6, which is provide AA fire support, right? F7, I believe, was for I need intelligence data, which usually means I need radar. F8 is set a smoke screen. Now, it doesn't say I'm going to set a smoke screen. It says the next player to set a smoke screen. And if you actually look at the player, right? Where's their player? Him. I could say to him, set a smoke screen, right? Or no, I guess the smoke screen one isn't personal, but there are certain ones where if you hover over their name and let's say you go F12, it will actually tell that guy, thank you, right? Just so you guys know, there is options for that. So if you want to thank someone, and that's how you get your karma up. And that's another thing. There is karma in the game. What does it really mean and what does it do? Nothing. Up karma. Down karma means nothing in the game because it doesn't give you anything. It doesn't take away anything. All it does is kind of show players that, hey, maybe this is a good guy or not. But the only place to see it is if you're showing someone on either stream or if you're just telling them what it is. It doesn't really say it anywhere else. So you're not gonna, it's not gonna do anything. So don't get too upset if your karma goes down or if your karma goes up. You're not getting anything out of it. Okay, well, the other way, sorry, I was gonna tell you guys, is the other way to actually get all the information, you hold down F1. F1 will give you this page, which gives you a lot of information, especially if you're a new player. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible to see what everything is. Here's all, you know, your modules and armament and what it stands for. So when you're shooting people with your, let's say you're in a division of 3, which I highly recommend for new players to be in a division of 3. Because, and make sure it's always players that are your level. If you get a Unicum player, which is the elite of players, 60% and higher on win rate, and I'm not talking about 100 games, I'm talking about thousands of games, 60% and higher. Playing with them, yes, you're going to get a lot of information, but they're at a level that is way beyond your level. So try to always find a clan that's accepting of you being a new player and wanting to help you. There's a lot of clans out there. I personally have 20 clans over 3 servers that do that. With a massive Discord that everyone's always on. Little self-promotion there. You can find me in Discord, by the way, and anyone can apply to any of the clans. The application's in my Discord. What was I saying? Find a clan that will help you learn the game. Get a div where you have players that are your level and you're all learning together. Just know that when you're picking a tier, the highest tier always, the games always go with them. So if you're like, I'm a tier 5 and I want to play with my friend and he's a tier 7, I'm going to pull him down to tier 5s. Most likely he'll pull you up to tier 9s, 8s, and 9s. So don't do a failed div. There's always a better choice. Always stick to the same tier, right? And play your strengths. If you're a DD player, you play DD. If the guy's with you is playing a cruiser, play cruiser definitely, and then a battleship. Playing 3 battleships isn't ideal because you're taking away battleships from the map. With DDs, yes, you can split up and you can do a wolf pack that's a little bit easier. And I highly recommend, if you're a new player, learn all the DDs because the DDs will help you play cruisers and battleships better. Okay? The DDs are the backbone of the game. Just know that. Just know it, learn it. If you're ever wanting to try CVs, I highly recommend playing them after you learn how to play DDs, cruisers, and battleships. They will not help you play anything else better. It will inform you of what has better AA than other things, but yeah, you're not going to get that much information out of that. Oh, there's a cat. What else? Yes, holding F1, it'll give you this option, and it'll give you all the information you need. Now, this is only in-game. I don't think this information is anywhere else, so just know that. What else can I say? I mean, there's a lot more, and I'm going to be making a lot more videos, just so you guys know. Come check me out. I'm on Twitch 7 days a week. I was doing 2 days a week on YouTube, but we're going back to Twitch 7 days a week. We're going to be playing this. I play with everyone. Doesn't matter who you are and what background, as long as you follow my rules. You're not toxic, and most likely you're an amazing person if you're finding this video interesting. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscriber button. I'm on here all the time trying to grow my YouTube. I'm trying to still grow my Twitch. We're getting close to some amazing big giveaways, like 50 ship premium giveaway at 25,000 followers. Go find my channel, hit that follow button, and I'll see you guys on every day starting at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on the NA server, occasionally on the EU server every blue moon. But yeah, come check me out. I'll talk to you guys all later. And welcome home. Welcome home.